Hello, music lovers, sound designers, composers, producers, and those just starting their music production journey. Welcome to the Creative Generalist channel. Today, we'll discover how you can do full-fledged and professional music production using only your web browser without downloading a single file to your computer, without any installation, and without waiting. Introducing the world's most accessible, completely free, and next-generation online DAW, BandLab. We start our first step into this limitless world by opening our browser and typing BandLab into the address bar. When we reach BandLab's homepage, we are greeted by an extremely modern and dynamic interface. Their slogan is "The future of music," and they are quite serious about it. When we examine the page downwards, we see that this is not just a music production tool, but also a massive social platform built for musicians, singers, and fans. The most important part is this: the principle of limitless applies in BandLab. There are no project limits, no cloud storage limits, and no payment walls blocking you. It offers a fully synchronized experience on both mobile devices and the desktop version we are currently reviewing. To join this ecosystem, we start our registration process by clicking the Sign Up button in the top right corner. This step is necessary for your projects to be safely stored in the cloud. You can log in within seconds using your Google, Apple, or Facebook account. On the profile creation screen, we are asked to determine a username. We are creating our identity here as Creative Generalist by entering our channel name. Since this will be your artist profile, it is useful to choose a memorable name. While creating our account, BandLab asks us some questions to personalize our experience. Which music genres are you interested in? Rock, pop, hip-hop, electronic? How do you define yourself? Vocalist, guitarist, beatmaker? You can answer these questions according to your own taste and preferences. This step is quite important for the platform to offer you a better experience, to show content that interests you on your homepage, and to suggest potential collaborations. We can skip offers like membership that appear for now, because the platform's most powerful production tools are already open to our use as standard and free. And here is the heart of BandLab, the feed. This place works just like a social media platform, but it is entirely music-oriented. You can listen to other people's projects, comment on them, and remix projects by taking them with the fork feature. But we want to enter our own studio now and start producing. We click on that red, inviting Create button in the top right corner. Attention here. When we press the Create button, we are faced with three critical options, not the studio directly. First is New Project, the option where we start from scratch, opening a blank project and taking full control. Second is Song Starter, an AI-powered inspiration tool that generates random ideas and backing tracks for you. Third is New Social Post, an option used for sharing photos or videos directly to the social feed, not for making music. We click on the New Project option at the top for professional production. As the studio loads, a browser notification will appear in the top left corner stating www.bandlab.com wants to control and reprogram your MIDI devices. To use your external keyboard and ensure smooth note entry, we must approve this by clicking Allow. This is a very important step not to be missed. Then a black welcome window appears first. The screen says, "Learn how to create a song in BandLab Studio," meaning the system wants to teach us the studio step by step. To fully understand the system and learn the interface, we start the interactive guide by clicking the Start Lesson button below. Step 1 of the guide has started, and the Add a Track box has appeared on the screen. The box says, in order to add musical elements to your song, you'll need to add a track, meaning we must create a channel first to add musical elements. We say Next. In step 2, it brings us to the Discover window and suggests starting with a rhythm to be the foundation of our song by saying, for now, let's start by adding a beat as the foundation for your song. It directs us directly to the Drum Machine option. We click. The drum machine opened and we are in step 3, Under the Program Drums title on the screen, it writes, "We've set a drum pattern for you and enabled the preview for you to hear it in action." In other words, the system states that it has set a ready-made drum pattern for us and turned on the preview for us to hear it. In Step 4, we are asked to add this created rhythm to the project, and the guide points to the Add a Pattern button. We click, and that short loop settles into our main timeline as a clip. We move to Step 5, pointing to the BPM box on the top left. The title is Set Project Tempo. The description says, "Great, now that you have a drum beat, let's set the project tempo to make the music run faster or slower," meaning let's adjust the project tempo. In Step 6, we apply this change. The box contains the information BPM stands for beats per minute. We click and change the current value, and the speed of the rhythm updates instantly. We are in Step 7, and we are focusing on the Effects button on the bottom left. The title is Add Effects. The box says, "This is a good time to spice up that drum beat." We're going to use an effect from our wide range of FX presets for that. Effect presets help color the audio signal. So it states that we will use one of the wide effect presets to spice up the drum rhythm and that these color the audio signal. In Step 8, the Effects menu opens. Title, Add a Preset. Here it writes, "We have chosen a preset that makes the drum sound more natural by adding a bit of reverb," meaning they selected a preset that adds a bit of reverb to make the drums sound more natural. In Step 9, the BandLab Sounds title appears, and we prepare to add the second channel. The box writes, "Time to add your second track." BandLab has a large collection of pre-made sounds for you to choose from, meaning it's time to add the second channel, and BandLab has a large collection of pre-made sounds. In Step 10, the library opens, and it says, "For now, we've pre-selected a melody loop for you." At this stage, we drag and drop the selected loop file into the project. In Step 12, Step 11 was the dragging process, the Add a MIDI track title appears on the screen. The description says, "Time to add a bass line." We're going to use a MIDI track for this so we can play the notes on our keyboard or MIDI controller. It indicates that it is time to add a bass line, and we will use a MIDI channel to play the notes with our keyboard. In Step 13, the title Let's Add a MIDI Bass Line appears. We are asked to add a virtual instrument channel by saying, "Hit Next" to add a virtual instrument track so we can start creating a bass line. We click on the Virtual Instruments option. In Step 14, it has us open the Instrument menu, title Select Sound Bank. The box says, "This is where you select your bass sound." For now, we have pre-selected one for you from our virtual instruments. It states that we will select the bass sound here, and for now, one of the virtual instruments has been pre-selected. A sound like bass lead comes selected. In Step 15, the musical typing keyboard appears on the screen in case we don't have a MIDI keyboard. In Step 16, Record MIDI, we look at the created clip. The box writes, "Here's an example of a bass line with MIDI notes," showing the notes in the piano roll. In Step 17, the guide takes us to the time ruler above and the Arrange Song title appears. It says, "If you want to hear all the parts of the song from start to end, we'll need to set the cycle to the full 8 bars, meaning we need to adjust the cycle bar to be exactly 8 bars to hear the song from start to finish." In Step 18, the use of this feature is detailed, titled Cycle Enabled. It explains, "Cycle allows you to listen to a section of your project in a continuous loop. This can be helpful for practicing, songwriting, and mixing." We came to Step 19, and the Mix button on the bottom left is pointed out, titled Mix Your Song. It states, "Now that we have a couple of tracks, we can adjust their volume to make them sound good together." Meaning, since we have a few channels now, we can adjust the volume levels to make them sound harmonious. In Step 20, the fader control is explained, titled Levels. It writes, "Here you can adjust the track volume by dragging the slider. Keep an eye on the output meter. You want to avoid the output signal going in the red." It warns to adjust the sound by sliding the slider, but to watch the output meter, we should avoid the signal going into the red, i.e. audio distortion. In step 21, the M and S letters next to the fader are introduced, titled Mute and Solo. We learn that we can use solo and mute functions to hear only specific channels with the explanation, do you only want to hear certain tracks at a time? Use the solo and mute functions. In step 22, it has us click on the New Project text at the top, titled Name Project. With the warning, Time to give your project a name, we are asked to give our project a name. We write My Song or New Project V2 here. And the last step, step 23, the Save button on the top right, titled Save Project. It writes, save your progress and come back to your project at any time. When you're happy with the result, you can publish, master, and distribute it to digital platforms using BandLab distribution. It heralds that you can save your progress and return anytime, and when you're happy with the result, you can publish, master, and distribute it to digital platforms using BandLab distribution. When we finish the guide, a "Congrats, you've just made a song" screen appears. However, the system does not leave us. It offers 3 more options saying, want to learn more? Electronic, hip-hop, or pop. We examine a full, professionally prepared project by clicking the Try It button on the electronic option. After examining the project, we exit by going to the menu from the top left and saying Exit. It asks us, Save changes? In this example, we save our project by saying Save and Exit. But you can exit without saving changes if you wish. Now we say Create and New Project again and start our own project completely from scratch. We click on the Instruments option on the Discover screen. There are hundreds of instrument options here. In this example, we select the cello section instrument. We open the piano roll, that is the MIDI editor, by double-clicking on the clip we created. Here we can add notes by clicking with our mouse. We can adjust their lengths by holding and pulling the ends of the notes, and obtain a more human and dynamic feel by changing the strike intensity of the notes with velocity settings. After creating our melody, we open a new channel to add another layer on top. And this time we select harp as the instrument. To hear the harp channel more clearly, we mute the other channels by pressing the S or solo button. To not miss the tempo while recording, we activate the metronome by pressing the metronome icon on the bottom panel. These tick sounds will guide us. We press the record button and record our harp melody live with our keyboard. When we stop the recording and listen, we see how clear and latency-free a result we get, even in a browser-based system. As you can see, BandLab is not just a simple recording tool, but a studio that offers every detail from instrument selection to fine MIDI settings, from metronome use to multi-channel recordings. In this video, we examined BandLab's vital tutorial mode at the first launch, the details of the Create menu, and basic recording techniques at a micro level. If you would like to see more in-depth videos containing advanced techniques on these topics, please indicate in the comments. Thanks to these tremendous free opportunities offered by BandLab, obstacles like "my computer is insufficient" or "I have no budget" are now history. Also, if you want to try desktop software instead of working browser-based or focus on music notation, be sure to check out the comprehensive guides we have prepared for other powerful and free tools like Waveform Free, Cakewalk Next, and MuseScore on our channel. You can find these contents in our playlists to help you find the most suitable tool for you. We encourage exploring such tools to broaden your creative workflow, and similar content is already featured on our channel and will continue to appear in the future. Whether you're just starting out or already advanced, you'll find valuable content in our playlists. We are here to help you find the tool that best fits your creative process. If you enjoyed this fun experiment and would like to see more interactive content like this to give you new insights, check out what else we have on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get notifications for new videos. See you again soon, and thanks for watching.